Oh my god, that was so... The animation is so cool.
Glitch transitions. I've made many a mod in my past, and I've learned that things don't always go the way you want them to. And it turns out that what we were trying to do wasn't possible in the first place. And sometimes it'll go majorly wrong more than once. What is going on?
Yeah, like, what is going on?
And sometimes thrice. This particularly poignant and painful experience all came about because I watched a James Bond film. Yes, that one. It actually had a really cool Aston Martin in it. Out of all hero cars that I've ever seen, I'd say that this one probably stuck in my head the best. Even though it's grey. Call me a snob, sure, but probably just call me not North American. For some reason you guys love them. I think the reason was not the ridiculous looking Jag that it fought, but the fact that it had this really cool invisibility cloak. When watching it, my modding eyes saw this animation and thought, I could do that. Instead of just blurting it out to everybody by making some sort of Twitter post, I decided to hatch a plan. I'd offer it to the one person who I know could put it to good use. Target down! CarMighty. Maybe you've heard of him? And 5 months later, we used it. Barely. Now, this took a lot of materials work, and I hate working with materials, because you'll often change something, you'll get a result, but you won't get the real result until you close the game, clear the cache, and reload the game. It's pretty painful. However, my unfound confidence came from when I was looking at how the BeamNG JATO image flame stuff worked ages ago. It uses a poorly documented thing called anim flags. I did have a bit of a quick peruse, and then ever since it's just been sitting up here in the filing cabinet in my brain. How would I use it? The last time I made a major mod for CarMighty, somebody stumbled across it in that session before the recording started. Hence the precognizant response. Not this time, though. I have to make it a tricky name, because last time they figured out what it was. Throughout this mod, I'm actually going to be giving things all unique and odd names. That way, hopefully, this plan will go off without a hitch. Onto the whole figure out how this mod is supposed to work thing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a material that actually moves, which would be city bus. Anim flags, that's what we're looking for. It's all good knowing the name of the thing that I want to use, but the system is still passive, and I need to figure out how to get control of it, which meant searching all the Lua files for anim flags. Material editor, anim flags. Scroll, rotate, wave, scale, sequence. I suppose I don't need to know exactly how everything works, we'll just do a sequence. Now, for however hard it is to make any sort of vehicle for BeamNG, they probably have one of the best upkept and most filled out document modding system out there. Skin tutorials. It's RGB. What I'm looking for is this. Okay. It wasn't always so great though, but I do think that this is probably the first place beginners should go to. I'll link their auto bellow tutorial in the description. I wonder, is anim flag documented yet? Nope. Well, it's not perfect. However, it was just that it didn't list things as anim flags, that's the code side. Though, however, the GUI side of it all, that wasn't very well documented either. But in the case of not knowing, we investigate. It flickers because of the anim flags. Wow, that's different. When you select it, it wouldn't change color or anything, but now it's like glowing orange. That's cool. Apparently it's not 1.5. This is version 1.5. That's version 1.5. JATO's 1.5. Shock diamonds, not 1.5. Light bars. Main materials, anim flags, not 1.5. Oh, is it locked to being old version of materials? Weird. Where do we get anim flags from? Animation properties. I wonder if it just moves everything on the layer. Which one is 5? 5 is rotation, right? Oh no, 5 isn't listed. Maybe it's a new type of animation we haven't seen yet. Maybe this is unused. I was starting to learn that the anim flag stuff might have actually been hidden in the compiled part of the game engine. Compiled? Well, there's two main types of languages we use these days. One that you write, like C#, which I believe BeamNG's game engine is written in, then compile it by stripping out all of the human language stuff out of it, and it becomes hyper efficient. Then there's ones like Lua and Python, where they only compile themselves when they get used. Not quite as efficient, but I can look at them and read them. I can't read the game engine.
Okay, well, I suppose let's go in here and apply this to something, so like a scintilla, and then an inconspicuous name. I wonder if I just call it empty, it'll confuse people. Something kind of like this, paint design. We go up, empty. It'll show 2. Now that should call this. We don't want shock diamonds on it, or do we? Go red, green. Oh, well then. I feel there's a bit of a caching problem. This is not the result I was expecting. Oh, I wonder. There, okay, that's doing a lot better now. Where is it getting this weird funky thing from? Glaciers cleared out. Perfect, we are getting there. Oh, well, shoot. We'll get to that eventually. This is all formatting stuff. This is not actually how to animate things. What I was hoping to do was find where it tells it to animate and then do it. What I have to do is see if this is a public thing. Damn it.
Well, what I'm saying there is if it was public, well, I'd have been able to retcon it and just go ahead and use it. But that's the big thing here. Finding what can and can't be used.
I feel that maybe there's somewhere else that calls upon this stuff. Let's save and have a look at the resulting file. NMFlag24? What the f is NMFlag24? Active layers, okay. Try putting that in. Oh, it's animating. Something doesn't seem right. These properties are not fully supported. Use with caution. This property allows the object's UV coordinates to be modified to create the impression the texture is animated. Oh, it does it by moving the UV map. All I'd need to do next is activate it. I could theoretically overwrite this, but I don't want to, because an error might show up on the console, which would give it away. Well, apparently this one is a sign of the time. But set property. I think we can activate this. It's not publicly facing, is it? It is. I could just really jankily set and unset that value. Oh, damn.
This was a big breakthrough. Something I could use. And it was in plain English. Except these.
It takes in material object, property, layer, and a value.
These things that go in it, well, these aren't actually the words that they are. These are external representations of, well, they could really be anything. And I need the exact syntax of what they're written as. This sent me down a rabbit hole of using the dump command to get massive amounts of writings that I might be able to sift through to find what goes in it.
So image sequence, 2481, dump editor. Really long. I think this means I can access this and maybe try to set added flags. In change Lua code, let's go property and in value flags. New value would be that, okay. Last one, mat object, which would probably be this. And let's press the hotkey. Let's try dumping this. Love that for me. Last night, I turned off the editing and then about half an hour later, it started, I got it to work. This is basically what I ran. So if I now press the key, this one I did get to work, so we could do that one. And then when I press the button, it skips it to 25, but I can't use it again. It's just not a thing. So this is the final iteration. Because I wanted it to keep going, I did a time thingamajiggy. Every single time that I use it, it increases by 25, adding a different value. Now, that does change its speed as it goes up. So as you can see, it's slow, but I could skip it ahead. Now I can skip it ahead. But it does speed up eventually. I did a lot of hunting through here to figure out how to do this as well. What I ended up doing was just bypassing everything and going straight to this. What I wanted to do is activate set material property to be able to do this, which I was trying to do through a material editor as set property. But it just turns out that I just have access to these all the time. I wonder if after doing this, we go here and then reset it back to 0. Nope, button is working. And I just wanna feel real love and a love thereafter.
Oh. So, the next problem, we're setting up the anim flag as a key binding. Something it wasn't meant to do.
Perfect, it looks like it's sitting still. That's what we want. And how long will it take to get to the next frame though? Alright, let's put that there, get a timer going. I'm just gonna sit here and watch. And 12.5 minutes. What if I just set up a timer that will always reset its thing down here in update?
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward. I wasn't able to make it fully pause, and 16 minutes was about the maximum I could have it, meaning it couldn't really afford any delays whilst recording. That never happens.
Okay, at the end of this recording, I got a whole bunch of help from Candyman, and it turns out that what we were trying to do wasn't possible in the first place.
The big problems were you couldn't pause the animation frame rate also sets the position of the animation for some reason. If somebody has a different frame rate, it'll set it out of sync and potentially have it switch even sooner than the 16 minutes. And the animation doesn't show parts of the image, it shows the full image, just kind of like shifted across depending on where the animation is, looping around. Yeah, this was my fault. I completely misunderstood how this worked. This meant that I couldn't have the full skin change without some trickery.
I don't think I wanted to do that. Instead, I figured out I can just change the material, and I'll just flip the material out a bunch. Okay, so the thing to do today is to change the controller to activate a vehicle lure, which we'll put in a controller, so it'll only activate if you have the controller active. Electric's values are one of the few things that are synced via multiplayer. What I need to do is have the game engine lure activated by a vehicle electrics.
This was a mistake, and it managed to get even worse. For now though, it worked for single player after some fiddling.
I'll set field, flush and reload. That's what it was. We'll stick some in here, and we'll stick some in here. Okay, Control L, Control R. Oh, what was that error? Attempt to index material and nil that. Oh. One day I'll be less shit at this. I swear. It'll happen one day. Press the button. Okay. Hey, Presto, we are coming together.
And now I needed to tackle a thing that I was daunted by and, putting off. Art.
Now what we need to do is come up with how the glitch works. It's kind of just a patchwork. How many frames per thing? But we get an idea. What they're doing is not an exact thing. They're trying to make it look messy by having things overlay as if the screens are trying to render things. Also, here, just saying, that is a fake-ass car.
I analyzed not just the shapes, but also the frame rate, and I was not confident.
Okay, sometimes it's every frame, sometimes it's every secondary sort of frame. Okay, this could take a while. Oh no.
Still though, I'd made my skins in Blender previously, so I thought I'd do it there. But before I even started...
You know what, I think this is too difficult. I have to work in 2 dimensions and I think I have to use a proper photo editor.
I know that 2D is the normal way to do this sort of skinning stuff, except I'd done this a really, really long time ago and I hated it, and I never wanted to do it ever again.
I'm now realizing how much work went into making that skin for that car to change. And it was different every time. I think we'll start with solid squares to start with, and then we'll work on changing it.
I didn't end up doing that. This first layer took nearly an hour, and I was already looking for shortcuts.
I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll have the first layer The second layer will blink once or twice, but the second time with the once, then the first and first and second and third, first and third, all three, then solid color.
The whole art asset making process took about 3 hours, and by the end of it, my mic had stopped working. Something every YouTuber loves. Gonna be honest, I was a painter as a child, but now as an adult, I'm much more comfortable with hard coding in an animation by hand. It's basically a flipbook, but in code form, and eventually... Luckily, this is only one small issue, and hey presto, the first version of my animation worked. And I immediately showed CarMighty. Luckily, to get the colors to work, all I had to do was just hue shift the original ones and duplicate the animations for those files, and done. Oh no, I've had the YouTuber nightmare, and now I've got the software dev's nightmare. Feature creep. I'm also my own boss, so I've got the idiot boss who's like, sure, we can do that. Shouldn't be too hard. But at least I limited his expectations with something simple.
Peach, red, yellow, blue, peach. That works.
I'm gonna be honest though. I was happy with the animation, just not the art really. However, the deadline was coming up.
I can work on the animation stuff later, but to get to minimum viable product, we have to do his other feature request.
I don't know why I was getting all corporate speak here. We were on day 4, but it's not like I'm charging him industry rates for this. That would be like $1,200 so far. Now do you understand why I don't take your mod requests?
Wait a second. I wonder if I can make it phase in as opposed to pop in. I wonder if I can set that to an exact value in slider float. State mesh fizz. Oh my god. And it looks like I can set specific things. You know what, I'm gonna grab a copy of this for now. Then we're gonna create a new function and put it in there. What? I don't know what goes into mesh alpha. And also what's vehicle? What's v-editor? Is v-editor something I can just get all the time? I think v-editor vehicle is a table. Yes, it is. Oh, I wonder if I can grab map bushes and put them in here. Okay, that is actually pretty darn big. What if we layer just a bunch of shrubs on it? That might have to be the key. Now if we refresh, perfect. We'll have to move it around a little bit, but that works.
I was reminded that these guys are sneaky f***s. So I went in and I changed the keybind into something very inconspicuous so the players wouldn't be able to find it.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Ooh dear.
Now, with these types of mods, I always tend to face the biggest amount of problem when I try to get different files from different parts of the games to communicate with each other. But when it does work...
Doesn't look like any errors. Press the button. Okay, look at that. Tasty. But now I can't get my vehicle back. That's a problem. We're in GE Lua now, and this is our function. What I want is to be able to grab B, val, and 5? I really don't know what that's meant to be. Press the button. I did something. 0.5. And there you have it, bro.
I set up a quick and dirty animation that flashes 3 different types of bushes out of phase at different values, kind of like an old fluoro light turning on.
Let's reload the car. Never see the bushes at all. Perfect. Okay, we press the thing.
Ooh, holy. That actually looks pretty sick.
Little bit poking through. And it is also a little bit big. Put it here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that works. Turns it off, turns it on, turns it on. Obviously, that's exactly the expected fucking behavior.
Yeah, things don't always go smoothly. There's lots of figuring things out on your own.
Make sure everything is fresh and da-da-da-da on, da-da-da-da off, da-da-da-da on, da-da-da-da off. Okay.
And sometimes they do work.
We put it on, good, no flashing bush. What just happened? Why when I press escape does it turn on? Oh, because the Control W menu should turn it back on when, oh no. Oh, that's us. Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne.
So this new delectable dumpster fire of a disaster is caused by closing the menu. If you hover over a part in BeamNG's parts menu, everything else will change its alpha value. And that alpha value code is what I'm using. And problematically, if you close the menu, it takes all of those alpha values and clears them out. Yep. Now, CarMighty can be careful not to do that, but what if one of the hunters do it? It'll give it away instantly on their side. I'll cut a long story short. I couldn't intercept that frippin' message to do that, so instead, I flipped the bird at efficiency, and if the bush is meant to be off every single frame, the code will force that be off all the time, constantly. I'm still upset about it. Moving on.
Bring it out. Empty. Okay, well. Oh, wait. I think probably this. Now Control R. There we go. Okay. Push on. Close the menu. Perfect. Okay.
Finally done with nothing more to worry about.
Well, that's problematic.
Well, we can't all be perfect. And I wanted to move on to another issue that I was pondering. I felt the animation was just a little flat. I tried adding more details to the images, but it was just moving too quickly to see it anyway. Instead, I was thinking up an alternative idea.
Now, I want to play a sound that lasts that amount of time. There is sounds to play from. If only I can remember what it is. Oh, that's interesting. No, don't want those. I could do that.
Unfortunately, nothing was really hitting quite right, so I jumped onto the internet to find something like an old fluoro light, potentially.
Oh, okay.
And I got lucky. Playing audio files isn't currently documented in the new documentation.
I've just received word that it'll be at East Coast. Oh,
This was kind of a minor issue because the foliage probably wouldn't match. But to be honest, it blends so well anyway. If the hunters were actually paying close enough attention, it might help with the game balance. Or at least that's what I'm going with. Anyway, I was trying to figure out how to get the audio to play.
quickly popping into the Wayback Machine to find how to play a file. Okay, now I'll have to figure out how to play the file. I don't remember. Hey, that works. We can do this. Maybe. We can pick our node as a string in quotation marks, B4. Expected number got string. What if we just put in B4? Okay, well, what if we put you in square brackets? Doesn't want that either. 120. That should be a node. It really, really should be a node. 120 is such a simple node. Okay, and oh, I put in a file name change. Damn it, and done. Okay, now it should work. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, when it's quiet. And it's not the greatest sound effect, but it should do. I think this is meant to be volume. So let's go 2000. Just because. It's so quiet. Volume. Pitch. 10? Okay, it turns out pitch is what I want.
Yeah, it turns out pitch isn't what I wanted. I just misunderstood.
Position specific. Is that too loud? I mean, it's kind of the volume of the car. What if we're driving and it does that? And... perfect. Okay, next is bush sound. It seems this person just allows it to be free. Let's hope they're telling the truth. I'll put it in here. Perfect. That is kind of what we want. So they'll be able to hear something if they're close, which might tip them off to something happening. I wonder, is there a draw distance thing? It doesn't pop like other draw distance things. Oh, let's hope that people aren't that keenly aware of what's happening. I think this is enough to hand over.
CarMighty is in a different time zone, but this mod was burning a hole in my pocket. And I've been in touch with Ashmaker, who's a YouTuber that's done things like these fancy skins.
I would have had one of your skins in, but this is kind of slapdash last second sort of thing. Just finished.
Nah, you're good, don't worry about it.
So, you know how you're kind of probably like the skin king sort of thing? You make all of the cool skins?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think of my skin?
What skin? Literally, it's... What, hay? It's just red.
Oh, well, how about this one?
Whoa! What?
Or this one?
Okay, you might be the new king. And I love
maybe
the sound
this one.
effect as well.
You're making me blush. I'm a little embarrassed. Let me just cover up. There we go.
How? How have you done that? Wait.
I don't know what you mean.
What the? What? Oh my god, Philbin, what is this? This fantastic mod.
CarMighty next.
Just pop around to the fire station, then park next to my car.
Anyways, hello. Oh, there you are. We are matching as well.
Oh, you found me that quickly? Damn it. Well, then, all right. Well, there goes the surprise.
I mean, you look like a normal Piccolino to me.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? Yeah.
What was the sound effect? That scared me.
That was the follow-up thing that you wanted, but you also wanted the color change, right?
When you drive around, this looks so funny. Oh my.
Oh, wait, is the bush
my
still on
God.
for you?
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
Oh, what if I press now?
Still there?
Is it not going away for you?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's
Small
a problem.
Oh my god, this is loud. Wait, I'll be... Now again? Okay, this is... I mean, I think it's a good balance thing, because then they will know something
Yeah.
happens.
The first thing that you wanted was the color change, right?
I can see you're like slightly off color than me now. A little bit. Oh. Okay, there's also noise. And oh my god, that was so... The animation is so cool. Oh my god.
Figuring
the
out
noise.
a pattern and just like how I would make the pattern in the first place.
Oh my god. So press of a button, it just changes to a random color. Or is it like preset colors that you can preset? Oh,
It's got 4 settings, but you'll set only 3 of them, and then the 4th one will be just a blend of all of the colors. In the search function there, type in flange, F-L-A-N-G-E.
Oh, I see it. Change flange enabler.
I've obscured their names, so then people won't accidentally come across it like they did that one time with the changing scintilla.
Yeah.
That sucked. That really sucked. So now I'm like really paranoid.
Hell yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna try now. Can I try? Just one single press of a button, I guess. Oh, it's so cool. I'm brown. One more.
Wait, you're changing it in your screen?
Oh, maybe I need to reload.
Try it again.
Change now.
Oh, weird. I'm not seeing it happen.
Color is changing all the time.
Oh, weird. No, not seeing
Whoosh.
it. I will probably do a little bit of tinkering to make sure that it syncs properly. I tried, but it seems I was bad at it.
Okay, so this was actually a really big issue. At first I thought it was an issue with like me joining and then switching something, and then him joining and loading in the defaults. And then that would be alternating. You get the idea. Out of sync. Now, that was an issue, but there was more to it than that I hadn't realized. And I had a deadline now.
I would record like this weekend.
And I was pacing myself to fix the thing that I thought was wrong.
Oh, it'll take... like, I'm not going to do it today. I'll probably do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Or the day after, actually. Tomorrow's day off.
The client doesn't really send a constant stream of electrics values, so like the one whole entire frame that the electrics are on doesn't always send. Not only that, but there were other things that were going wrong, like it would work, but then the audio wouldn't play. That was a new one that I didn't understand. It still doesn't make sense. So it needed to be run through the BeamNP's server. And this is something I have never looked at before. Well, I had no idea. I went onto their Discord and asked them for help.
Okay, I've been getting help from this guy. He's been helping me a lot in understanding.
Thank you, Dude Cadron. Hopefully that was right. But man, was I unprepared for this. Now, I must have looked like an idiot because I was asking questions for hours, but really what I was doing was trying to ask them the questions before they all went to bed, and it was the middle of the day for me, and then I'd be stranded on a desert island of just not knowing anything.
This is an example server he set up, and this is his GE side lure, and this is his example server side plugin.
There was actually a few people helping, but this example was probably the best help, even though it didn't have the exact stuff that I needed, and along with that, the valuable syntax examples that I struggle with.
This is kind of what I've got coming on so far. We're gonna do this. Yeah, I have to use the decode side. Also, why does everything have to be done by a JSON? We're working in Lua. I want to work in Lua. Hold on, we're in my GE here. Here we go. So this is a table which I've created up here. It comes in, encodes the name and state, which is something I will send in myself into here, and then trigger an event. It'll go Mighty server current status. Then over in the multiplayer section, we've registered the event. Then Mighty sync. So Mighty sync is registered in here. The function then brings in player ID. I don't fully understand that. Then we got my table data, which goes into here, which is current status, which is made up here. Okay, then your client event. Wait, what's my client event?
I got very good at doing Lua in like my lane, doing it the way that I know how. But there's this whole other world of Lua that I'd never seen before. This is where formal education just wins. I had to figure out how to properly send things back and forth with proper syntax.
Okay, so I feel I'm either an idiot or they've made a mistake.
I'll give you 3 guesses to figure out which one. So the crux of it is, you have to let your mod know that there's stuff in the server that you want, then start the call. Over on the server Lua, you have to code a link to those calls to a function that you've made in your server.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Phil. Not a clue.
There's lots that's tricky in this mod, but most of the time really goes into learning and figuring out the how. I love hearing how I've helped to motivate people into making mods, but a love for learning is the difference between a successful mod and me getting spammed.
My big issue with troubleshooting all of this is I think I have to restart the server every time I want to change a little bit of code as opposed to just hitting Control L. Oh, okay. It turns out that the server will hot reload. Fantastic. Oh, that literally just happened as I was saying that. Not edited. That's how that happened.
So all I needed to do was add that code and make sure that it didn't break my thing in single player.
If bush used, then bush on, then that. Okay. The first time I use it, turns the bush on, turns the bush off. Okay, we cleaned it up. However, if we have multiplayer load up, then bush on becomes the server status version. Okay, let's go setting up a server. Create directory. Mighty Lua. In client, let's put in our mod. Try bringing out the car. Mighty is saying that he is seeing bush by default. So there's something wrong. Trigger client event. Oh, it's a command that's being triggered. Okay. That doesn't help me.
This was taking too long, and I was getting frustrated.
Oh my god, I feel that this is just so written for people that know what's happening. Apparently I'm meant to just add this to the client side. Alright, where? Loading Mighty server stats. Oh, is that the right thing? Loading, oh my god, it is! It's working! Show me,
Oh. Oh, wait. It's trying to bring in nothing? Because, yeah, these would totally be nothing. But hold on. They do nothing. So they don't even need to be there. If I press the button, though, it's synced, and it is sending skin and bush. That sounds so wrong. But me, we're still getting name and the state. God damn it. I wonder if I do that. Oh, I see bush and I see skin. Oh my god, it worked. It's all fine. Let's press the buttons. We're on green. Now we're on black. Let's bring the bush out. Bush, skin, color mask, and true. Awesome. All right, we've had one test from CarMighty, and they're going to do another test, and we're going to see whether it's green and without a bush. Come on down, please work. Bush, damn it! Oh, why would the bush not be sinking? At this point, I was trying to move away from electrics as a sink because I was sure that's where the problem was. Okay, I think the mod is in a testable state, and I think I can test this without having somebody else. I could just like load into the server and then reload into the server. Let's do black and bush. Let's exit out. And now when I spawn in the blasted thing, it should be black and it should have a bush on. Perfect. Okay, we'll close again and it should be black with no bush. Perfect. Okay. Just got to get Mighty to check it out, and I think we are good to go. It was late at night. We tested it. It didn't work, so we left. But then... Okay, so... it's working now. It's just when he's not in? What? This is so abnormal. So, he's joining now.
And the stream should be live.
Okay. Oh, well, bush is on for you. Weird. All right.
Color worked.
Okay. That's working. Bush goes to on. Bush stays on for you. Bush goes off for me. See, I'm hearing the sound this time, but it's not syncing to your side now. This is very, very peculiar. Because when you left, it got a lot better.
So the more people, the worse it gets.
That is so weird. Why wouldn't it work? What the f***? What is going on?
Yeah, like, what is going on?
So, it was at this point, on day 3 of this singular issue, that I was actually starting to really fully lose my mind. This oh, I don't like having to do more steps because this is where it failed last time. Let's see you come up with a problem with that, you piece of it's still not doing it. You wanted an integer. I gave you an integer. I gave you an exact integer. Number maybe has slight it does not have slight decimals. You have made me very upset. Okay. I did know how to do this as a table. You know what? We're going back to as a table, piece of Ooh, you've made me angry now. Watch me play by your rules. That's how upset I am. Now try being a... It's not getting past. Don't tell me. It is impossible. Oh my god! Local B tab is equal to this. Okay, it's happy with that. Great, okay. You, good, okay. You have a break now. Press the button. Goes here, gets to check online. What is your problem? You too want to be to string, of course, because why the f wouldn't you want to be a to string? Like you can't send a number. Didn't get a message, got a message, got a message, got a message, didn't get a message. What the f are you doing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cut me some slack. I said it was late at night, and I just wanted to set fire to everything. Conflagration was the only way to purify. I'm going to bed. We're missing the deadline. Though, I could theoretically, with on update, just keep spamming the f out of that server until I get the information I want. I could actually do that. That's probably a bad idea, though. I'm done for tonight. So, I did stop recording, but I was actually so pissed that I deleted everything except for the animations and rewrote like 70% of the code in a mad fury.
Okay. Last night, I finished off like writing 70% of it. So much of it was like little syntax errors and just straight up errors. This is working. Colors at the moment aren't animated, but we do at least have them changing. The new problem that I'm having, and you might be able to notice it, just pay close attention. The sounds are way out of sync. So what's happening is I can do this from VE Lua, then I go through a linkage of sending this to the GE, then from the GE to the server, from the server then back to GE, and in this time, it's way behind when this has already played the sound. So, we're gonna make some play sound stuff. And we're gonna call this PB. I don't care anymore about names. I'm just so done. Now, Bush has play Bush. Color has play color. Now all I have to do is call them from here. Oh yeah, I also got around the synchronization problem by having every single game engine update, not frame update, this is a different update, just to send out, hey, just please to God, just synchronize. That way, if it's missed sending an update, which it does a lot, it will finally just work. If the bush is being used, then we're going to call up my controller mod from the vehicle lure, and we'll restart the server. For our troubles, if we play the bush now, oh, you gotta hear this. That is major latency. I don't think Mighty is quite so far away from his server, but at least we would know that the updates are happening when he sees them now. So the delay may be unpleasant, but at least it matches what everybody else is going to be experiencing as well. Now, to do the animation.
It's amazing how fast you are the second time you do something, though still somehow quite error-prone.
What's happening? Why is it counting up the timer so much? Did I not reset anim timer back to 0? Yep. Let's grab you.
I was having some weird maths issues and simple logic errors in my communication between the server and game lore.
Oh, because color state starts at 1. The first thing that happens when it comes into the server is it goes, hey, let's add one more on. Whoa, I am not pressing anything. Was I not meant to set that? I was not meant to set that. Okay. Anim1, anim timer, and timer starts at 7.
By overutilizing the print function and with this newly acquired knowledge that I had, I was finally knocking these problems down one by one.
If I am correct, this will be the last time I have to do this. Son of a...
I might have been getting a tad short-tempered.
Oh, because the first color state is 0. The first color state matches, so it doesn't try to do the thing. God damn it, where is that? Because color and this is correct.
If I just keep saying this will be the last time, it's gotta be right eventually.
Alright, let's go update everything then, for what should be the last time, and I shouldn't need to do this again. Okay, first, the only problem is that it does an animation the first time it spawns in. I should probably have a first time load in. Yeah, you know what, let's bring back that thing. First color worked and it animated properly. Okay. Run black, push in, push out. Oh, fantastic. Alright, time to remove the prints. So then there's no evidence of what we're doing. And I think this is good to send to Mighty. And I know that it's working because the information is coming from the server and it is constantly forever being polled.
Well, that was it. But I did have one last little thing.
What if we hit the lowest graphics? Let's say that somebody's got like a complete potato PC and they've joined. That's a lot easier to notice. I should probably send this to Mighty. Oh my god. I've got it done after 2 weeks. And this was in the middle of my last video, the replay mod.
So, what did we learn? don't use Lua in such a short, succinct way that I did, which it would turn it on and then immediately flip it off in the next frame. That's a bad idea. And 2, don't do beam and P stuff. I'm gonna do more beam and P stuff, I just know it. I am, however, quite exhausted. I did have a lot of fun, and with it all coming together with the sounds, it was actually pretty freaking cool. I really liked it. Do you know what else I like though? My channel members. You guys are why I don't have to ask people like CarMighty for money for my mods. Because we know that they would go to somebody that was more skilled. But for now though, I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.